today I'm not giving a conventional sermon. In fact, one parishioner has said to me that sometimes my sermons, although interesting, do not deal directly with matters of everyday life. So today I am saying a few words about a very everyday occurrence. I'm going to talk about abortion. The Christian Church's teaching on this subject is very clear. We human beings are made in the image and likeness of God, and our great dignity as being made in the image and likeness of God begins at the moment of conception. On Friday we celebrated the birth of John, prophet, Baptist and forerunner. His conception was a miracle from God due to the advanced age of John's mother Elizabeth, and his birth was announced by the Archangel Gabriel to John's father Zacharias. But the conception of each one of us is a miracle as the man and woman take part in God's great act of creation. And therefore, killing an unborn child is the destruction of human life. This is a great sin both against the child and against God, who is the author of life. Every year I take part in the March for Life, a big procession in London ending near the Palace of Westminster, and many hundreds of times on that march we say, life from conception, no exception. So why have I chosen today to raise this subject with you? Well, you may have seen on the news over the last few days there was a decision by the Supreme Court in the United States of America which removed the constitutional right for abortion in the US. This does not mean that abortion is banned in the US, but that individual states may choose to do so. And in fact, it is likely that 26 states will impose a total ban on abortion. This is a great victory over the culture of death, which has spread across the world in the last 50 years. And I use the term the culture of death as there is a general attack on the sanctity of life, not just the killing of unborn children, but also the proliferation of euthanasia aimed principally at the elderly. Sadly, here in Britain, all I have seen in the news over the last few days is about demonstrations and protests against this decision of the US Supreme Court. And even singers at the Glastonbury Festival have used their presence on stage to protest. The forces of evil are undoubtedly shaken by what has happened, but we Christians must take courage from what has happened. If you would like to take part in the March for Life in London on the 3rd of September, please let me know. If enough people are interested, we could organise a coach from Cardiff. We must not only apply the Christian understanding of life, excuse me, we must not only apply, we must not only apply the Christian understanding of life and creation in our own lives, but we also tell the outside world, and so events like the March for Life are very good opportunities for us to be heard in public. The Orthodox Church has not historically had a very strong presence at these events in Britain, and I remember one year a group of people came from Romania to join the march in London, and there were more of them from Romania than those of us from various parts of Britain. We can change that, and I especially ask young adults from Cardiff to join me in this act of Christian witness. For the prayers of our Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ our God, have mercy upon us and save us. Amen.